Hi everyone, it's Natalie here. Welcome. I'm still out here at my mom and dad's house, as you can see. Um, Different angle, different deck, different time of day. So I'm going to go ahead and film the new moon reading. And for the new moon reading, I am using the Numinous Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks. So here's our Fool. We're going to shuffle it back into this deck. I'm going to do my best with the camera angles here because, well, there's really nowhere here in the house right now where I can spread out properly to do this. So we're going to do our best. All right, so let's go ahead and shuffle them back in, and then we'll set up the reading. So as always, we've got our 4 piles here. We've got wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. So let's see in which pile we find our Fool. Aha, we're in the cups pile this week. Or sorry, for this new moon. And it's a new moon eclipse. I did put, sorry, there's a little guy on my thing there. I did put in the description box the link to Julianne Victoria's predictions and information and readings for the new moon and solar eclipse. So we will be able to access that. I've not watched them, however, because I try not to do that before doing a reading. However, that said, this week, or for this new moon, with it being in the cups pile, what this tells us is that most of our problems can be solved through feeling and through trusting the heart. But what's most prominent during this upcoming cycle with the solar eclipse is relationships. We could maybe expect to see a transformation. There's a little guy. Transformation of relationships. We could expect to see relationships affected, but we're going to find, family relationships, emotions, and so forth coming to a peak, I would think, during this current cycle. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the cards so that we can count them. Okay, so as we start with the counting, we've got the Fool here worth a count of 3, being an elemental card. So we have 1, 2, 3. Our first card is the Creator of Bells. So the Creator of Bells, I believe, is worth 4. So that takes us 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the 7 of Bells is the second card for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The third one is the Visionary, or the Hierophant in most other card decks. That is a zodiac card worth a count of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got 3 cards. I kind of thought maybe we would have like a shorter reading this week. So let's pull them out. We've got the Creator, the 7, and the Visionary. So the first card is the Creator of Bells. The Creator of Bells is the same as the King in this particular deck. The Creator of Bells is also kind of like the King of Swords. We could say that Bells replace the swords in this deck. Very interesting that we have two air cards or swords cards in a water or cups pile. And then we also have the Hierophant here, or the Visionary, who is represented by an earth sign, right, which is Taurus. So it's very interesting that there's no water, displayed here. But what that tells me is that we're, as we are still right now in a Mercury retrograde, communication is still so important. So the creator of bells is showing us in some respects that being masterful of our words and our language and our communications with others, especially loved ones and family, remains critical at this time and throughout the next cycle. So the things that we say right now have a real impact. They have a real impact. The words that we speak, the kind of space that we hold for our mind and for ourselves, it holds a deep and profound ability to change the way that things go in the future, especially the very near future. So what do we want to create? What do we want to create with our mind? What do we want to create with our words? What do we want to create with our speech and our interactions with others? Right? What kinds of things do we want to have ringing, ringing in the second half of the year, right? Especially as we're about to approach the summer solstice. Yeah. So we have the ability to be the master of that particular area of our lives, and it's best that we use it wisely. The Seven of Bells is where things start to, is what bridges, the space between the creator of bells and the visionary. And I feel those two are very related. The outcome of this moves us way further and beyond where we started, right? Where we started from. The Seven of Bells is where we're bridging things. Where, he's cutting, this person is very hidden here and cutting off, a bell from from a performer or dancer's skirts. I tend to think of this one as being more helpful or useful than sneaky or difficult. So it's being sneaky and useful being sneaky in a useful way or a helpful way. So what are the areas of our lives that require a sneaky touch, right? Some very careful use of words or language. Is there some kind of a dialogue or conversation that needs to happen, off stage, out of the scene, away from other listening ears where it's not going to be helpful or useful? Do you need to take care of something, some ideas, some beliefs, some thoughts, or even potentially really some situations, that you'd rather resolve by yourself without necessarily drawing the eyes of others, right? Where do you need to be skillful in communicating things, in shifting things, and potentially moving things forward? Okay. And then finally we have the visionary. This really tells me that, the visionary it's a little bit different in this deck. I mean, it is the Hierophant, but it's also, not the Hierophant. This is someone who's chosen, we can think of it as a reversed version of the Hierophant. This is someone who, in the face of tradition and the way things are always done, has made a choice or a decision to do things their own way, and to create the kind of rules and society and world that they want to live in for themselves. So how do we want to create that for ourselves? How do you want to create that for yourself? Because that is the opportunity that's going to be brought about at this new moon. Okay? And how we feel about these things, how we feel about the words we speak, how we feel about the conversations we have, the dialogue we have, the things that we write, the things that we put out there, is just as important as the act of speaking them. I always feel deeply that the relationship between the heart and mind, or the swords, in this case bells, and cups, is really, really crucial. And so while this focuses very much on the mind, this Hierophant is interestingly or this visionary, is gesturing toward the throat and heart simultaneously. You know, the words and the, you know, the speech and the words and the heart behind it. You know, and all of the elements on their arm tell us, you know, we have the ability to create the world that we choose to live in and that we choose to occupy, you know. So what kinds of things do you need to do behind the scenes and take care of behind the scenes to make that happen? Yeah. You know, pay attention to how you use your power. Pay very close attention to how you use your power. All right, folks, that's it. Kind of a shorter reading for this new moon, but a powerful one nonetheless. Probably very appropriate because it's been a busy week here. I wish you all the best, tons and tons of love and support and compassion, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Take care. Bye.